Hey there, I am just reaching out to all of my sellers out there or individuals that are thinking that they might want to sell in the next 3 to 6 months. So here's a couple of things that's happening in the market that you may or may not be aware of. My mom just called me today and she was like, "Oh, I'm watching the news and they're saying all this bad stuff and what's going on with the real estate market." So I just thought I'd just do this quick video to give you an update from a seller's perspective. So a couple of things are happening. A lot of people are pricing their homes thinking optimistically that we're still in the market that we were in 6 months ago when interest rates were 3%. So no, that's not the case. So on situations where we were receiving multiple offers on property, maybe 10, 12, 15, 20 offers on a property, we are not seeing that anymore. We are lucky if we see one offer, maybe two. Sometimes if a property is under 200,000, you're going to see a lot more activity because there are more first-time home buyers that are out there that missed out on the market back 6 months ago because there was so much competition. Now those people are coming back into the market and they're finding homes, but we're still low in inventory and we're seeing a little more competition in that price point. Anything over 200, 250, we're getting into a whole nother can of worms with that because we have situations where people are in a home, they have to sell it and then move up in home. And where we're seeing a little bit of difficulty with that is many people can't afford to do that. So if they bought that house maybe 3 to 5 years ago and their interest rate was somewhere between, 3.5%, 4%, now they're looking at upgrading a home and their interest rate is going to be 6.5%. That is going to really affect the affordability for them to be able to buy. So maybe they can right size their home if they're going from a bigger home and trying to size down into a more appropriately sized home for them. That may work. But if somebody is trying to upsize, those people are getting a little squeezed in the middle because they can't afford the mortgage payment. The mortgage payment, even though if they're buying more house, the interest rate is higher and they're going to be making a nice chunk on their home, they're not going to be able to afford the mortgage payment. So what I am going to advise to all my sellers out there that are a little bit frustrated is keep in mind that we are in a new market. It's still shifting and we are still looking at low inventory. So those are the good news, pieces of good news. The bad news is that because the interest rates are higher, the higher priced your home is in our market, the lower the buyer pool you're going to have. So now we're fishing in a much smaller pond than we were 6 months ago. So I would just like to suggest to please take a look at the data. I will send data to you, look at my market updates, and you will see what's going on in our market. And that will educate you on what the buyer's expectation of home prices are now. And I'm not saying that in every case, if you're listed and you're on the market for 30 or 60 days, that's a bad thing. But, and we don't necessarily have to lower the price of the home, but we can offer incentives to the buyer. So we could do $10,000 buyer concessions, meaning we can buy down some of their closing costs or even buy down their rate in some cases. We can also do something like, if it's newer construction or new construction, the builder can add a fence or add some other concessions that the buyer may have put out of pocket for on the other side. So if you're asking questions, if you're curious about your market and you want more information to make yourself more informed, please reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you anytime. Thank you so much for watching.